Another Cleveland Guardians pitcher has been suspended because of sports betting. I can't believe we're talking about this again, but Emmanuel Clase has just been suspended due to betting on sports, just like Luis Ortiz. It's part of a league-wide investigation into player sports betting. Noah, break it down for me a little more, but I'm a little shook by this one.
I'm tired of it, Grandpa. Wait, do I still have the soundbite? I might still have the soundbite. I don't have the soundbite anymore. It's fine. I'm tired of it, Grandpa. I am so tired of Cleveland not being able to have nice things. Emmanuel Clase is one of my favorite players on this team, and the fact that he's being brought into this investigation and has potentially, more than likely, however you want to put it, put the integrity of the game on the line for some extra dollars is absolutely absurd to me. You know what else is absolutely absurd to me, Eric?
What's that?
These stats on wild pitches for first pitch of the ninth inning. It is the same exact thing that Luis Ortiz got flagged on. This random prop bet where you can bet the status of a first pitch of an inning for a pitcher. When it's the first pitch of the ninth inning going into a game, his percentage chance of throwing a wild pitch is 17.5%. What is it for the rest of the time? 5.2. It is absolutely absurd that this is what we have to deal with as sports fans and as Cleveland fans for that matter. If he is found guilty for this, it is absolutely mind-boggling to me that this is what we have to deal with as sports fans in today's day and age.
And for the record, a wild pitch is different from just a ball, correct?
Correct. It's when we're throwing it way far out of the zone for those who don't know. It's asinine. It's doing the most. It's
Listen, this is potentially one of the biggest scandals since the Black Sox scandal. And I know that's crazy to say. I know we've gone through over the years conversations about Pete Rose and different things like that. But two players on the same team potentially betting about their pitches. And mind you, Emmanuel Clase was shit at the beginning of the season. Everyone said, what's going on with him? Could that play a bigger role here? Was he purposely shit? I don't know. I'm not going that far. But the fact is, MLB, if it turns out that they were doing this, they have got to throw the book at these guys. Lifetime bans. It sucks for us as Guardians fans, but get them out of the sport, make an example of them. And frankly, I think you go so far as to drop every single stat ever, wipe out the history books of them, like completely delete them from history because this is ridiculous.
It's absolutely ridiculous, Eric. And it's ridiculous. I hope that, first of all, this isn't the case and they just flagged Emmanuel Clase because he's gotten a little wild with his pitches this season and because he's on the same team as Ortiz, it threw the flag. Saying that because I think with this, it shows that they know Luis Ortiz is very much guilty of what's going on now that they're bringing in other players on the team. Two things off of that, though. I hope that there's no one else on the team that's involved with this, whether Clase is or isn't. I hope it doesn't destroy the momentum that we have going on with this team right now because these pitchers are going to be so nervous to throw anything wild, even if it's not on purpose, because the league's looking at us underneath
Yeah, but that's not the thing because the crux of this issue right now is the fact that the wild pitches are being bet on. So what flags is the unusual betting activity, and then they look at the players. So the fact that you have two players, it would sound like, that had prop bets for that wild pitch or first pitch ball, I think that's what threw the flag. So I wouldn't be so concerned about throwing a wild pitch, et cetera, if you're another pitcher. That goes to tell me, though, that Emmanuel Clase is likely guilty. I don't want to, innocent until proven guilty, but this isn't the court of law, so I'm going to call it guilty.
Yeah, that's typically what goes down with these MLB or any sports league investigations. They're not putting you on leave or any of that if they don't think you're guilty. They know you're guilty. So they're just making sure they throw the book at you before they get it. I hope I'm wrong. I hope you're wrong. I hope we
Yeah.
still get to see Emmanuel Clase dominate the league because he is such a fun pitcher to watch when he's not throwing games potentially. It's baffling that this is the second conversation we have to have. And now you start thinking about other players and other plays during the season. Is this a team wide issue? I'm not saying this goes on vote or any of the front office. This could be a players inside type of thing. Who knows how deep this runs? And it terrifies me as a Guardians fan, because how can I sit here and boo the Astros or one of any of these other teams that have these types of histories? And our team's doing the same thing. They're doing things that are hurting the integrity of the game. It's so frustrating. I am beyond pissed off that this is going on amidst the season that has been so high and so low. And we're finally on a high, and it's just another swift kick to the balls, man.
It is 1919 all over again. And instead of mobsters, it's greedy ass players that are trying to make more money. Like, these guys aren't paid enough.
Yeah, it's 100% selfish, Eric. It's beyond frustrating. It's the word I keep using because I just want to watch good baseball and I just want to have a good time. And we have cheap owners and we have players that are hurting the integrity of the game, allegedly. Clase and Luis Ortiz are both suspended until August 31st. So there is plenty of time for them to not be on this team. And it makes me question, we have our Hofbrauhaus show coming up at the end of the week on Saturday. We planned it around the fact that we wanted to talk MLB trade deadline and hoping it's positive. Now, is it going to be negative, E, and we're selling the whole team because another pitcher is going down the drain? What do you think, man?
I don't think so, because I think on field performance needs to dictate what you do by the deadline. If we can continue to win, I didn't get a chance to look at the scores recently of what would be last night's game by the time you're watching this, but I think it's going to be dictated on how they're doing, not necessarily these two pitchers. But yeah, I mean, what happens if this does run deeper? What happens if there's another two or three pitchers that have been included in this? Like, I don't even know. You're just screwed as a team. Like, you could probably get their salary back, but just bye bye pitching staff. It's kind of crazy.
I I'm trying to be optimistic, man, and hope that this isn't a sign of the times for what we're going to do at the deadline. This is Tuesday when this video comes out. The deadline is Thursday. Our show is Saturday. I'm hoping there is more positive news to talk about. There was a rumor going around that the Guardians were working on a Class A deal to help with some of the hitting issues, and now that's down the drain. So are they just? I am
Did they
nervous.
know? Was there a slight indication anywhere within staff that they're like, hey, maybe we should get rid of this guy?
Maybe there was, because they saw the Ortiz situation and then they started looking at their own players, wild pitch rates, and obviously the statistics that I showed earlier in the video about his pitch rates. Maybe they were like, yeah, we definitely need, it's time to get off of this. Not to say that they were doing some shisty stuff in the background, but
Right.
I can't give that claim out there. But maybe they did. Who knows? Um, but it just hurts. It hurts because if there was a trade involving Class A, or if Class A was going to be the closer and we move towards that wild card race, what I'm saying is he was such an important piece of what we were going to have going on moving forward with this season, whether it be trade or still playing for the team. And it's August by the time he's done, and we're talking about the tail end of baseball season at that point. If he's not guilty, wrap it up, man.
Wrap it up indeed. I will say that the one positive to come out of this situation is that it's provided us great alliteration for the title of this video: Guilty Guardians.
The guilty guardians, the gambling guardians, as
Gambling.
Twitter has famously been calling them. Shout out McNeil. They're all coming up with the memes, and it's great for us to laugh, but it's putting on, that meme where you put the mask on and it's the person smiling, but it's really
The
crying
Spider
behind.
or Spider-Man, and it's all Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's just like I can't with this anymore. And I got one last question for you. It's something that just hit my mind, and maybe you believe differently. Do you think the whole Shohei getting away with it, whether you believe that or not, in the perspective of other players, however you want to put it, Shohei getting away with the betting stuff has made this a bigger problem in the MLB because other players feel like they can get away with it now?
That's a really interesting question. What I thought you were going to say is, did it put the spotlight to dig more? And my answer was going to be, yeah, probably.
Right.
Did other players see? Yeah, maybe. And if that's the case, if they're coming down hard on certain players, but not the star of the league because they know what he means to the league, that's an issue in and of itself. And I got to say, as far as Major League Baseball is concerned, I'm not sure that there's a lot of trust with Manfred and, the top there. Um, I don't
With
know.
the players, yeah. It's this situation I feel like could get really nasty really quick if you think about the implications with Shohei. If you think about just here in Cleveland, the implications of players having even more of a spotlight on them because there's two players now flagged for it. This could get ugly even more so, and we are only in July, about to be August. Who knows what comes out next? Because if you would have told me last week at this time that Clase was also going to go on that list, I would have said there's no way because he's got himself a fantastic MLB career as it is already. Not that Ortiz didn't, not that any of these other players that might get flagged or have been flagged don't, but he just never, you would never suspect it. You don't think or want to think that your players are going to do something that would put their career on the line, your fandom on the line, the integrity of the sport that they love, you love, the league loves. It's mind blowing, and it seems like it might be an MLB problem.
Well, we had the steroid era. We are now firmly in the betting era.
Let me ask you one last question before you wrap this up. Do you think that this is going to have a negative effect if all of this comes out to be true and say there's more cases or the same amount or whatever? All of this is true. Do you think this is going to have a negative effect on sports betting as an industry now that it's legalized?
No,
Mm.
here's the thing. It's when they say like follow the money, there's way too much money here for this to impact sports
Yeah.
betting in general. I mean, we're talking billions of dollars, if not pushing even further than that. So no, I don't think there's going to be an impact. You're not going to see it become harder to bet or anything like that. No, absolutely not.
I just hope we stop being stupid as a human race, as a group of people, because you have the world by the balls. You are an MLB player. People would dream to be in your position, and you're risking it for a couple extra dollars.
Yeah,
Play better.
what's the
Play
amount?
better.
That's a good question. Like what?
And we won't know until their investigation's done and they come out with guilty, not guilty, or whatever, once they manage all the facts and decide what's going on. But it's not a good look for anybody whatsoever, and I hope that this doesn't trickle in harder and harder to the other leagues. I know we've seen some examples, but it feels like baseball in itself has been the worst when it comes to sports betting, and maybe it's
It
because of all the
is.
prop bets that are allowed, like a first pitch outcome for a certain player. Maybe they'll
One
taper that down but still keep sports betting as a whole open. Who knows?
One last thought here. I said from the rip, ban them for life. I also think you should go after their earnings from this year. Anything that we paid out to those players, if they are found guilty and banned for life, we should be able to reclaim.
Yeah, if it is guilty, I don't really care what happens in terms of what is morally right with the money or any of that really, because you screwed your employer, you screwed your fans, you screwed the sport that you grew up
Yourself.
loving. Yeah, and yourself. Before all of the, selfishness and different selfish levels you could take it. You screwed yourself. I hope they didn't do it. I really hope Class A didn't do it because I love me some Class A. But damn you if that's what you decided to do with your career, man.